3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so if I want to bring this over into Blender, all I have to do is go over here to this the little folder, go down to export, and I just want to export. I want to take it off of let's see, what do I want to? I think I'm just going to take all of these parts, not the floor, and we don't want the cameras and everything. We just want these original parts. And then we're going to go to GLTF, only selected objects. So there's 5 of them, so we'll confirm that. So it's only going to do just a little bit, not this little floor. We only want the little character. Export GLTF, and then I'm going to airdrop it to my Mac. And then we'll hop over to the computer. So let's open up Blender and let's bring our little pudgy little character in. So here we have Blender. Let's make this full screen, although full screen is a little too full. I think it's fine. Anyway, so here is the little square. So I'm going to hit X so I can delete it. And I'm going to add, so I think Shift A is add. I'm using a MacBook Pro 2021 laptop. So this is the computer that everyone will tell you that you can't and shouldn't do Blender on, and everyone will definitely poo-poo it, but it's all I have, so that's what I work on. So I will do a plane. Do I do a plane mesh, or do I do a? Oh no, I'm like forgetting how to do everything. So I'm gonna do Command Z and bring the box back. I haven't done this in a while because usually I just save my, I just start with like a backdrop. I just save it. So I'm gonna hit 1 to kind of give me this like a view of the front. So I'm just gonna hit 1, sort of like an orthographic view. And then I'm gonna use this to move it up to this red line. So that's the horizon line. So when I'm in Nomad Sculpt, this is why I always bring things up to that horizon line, because that's what I want to do. So right now we're in object mode, but we need to go to edit mode. I think that's tab is the shortcut. And we want to use these little, this is the little tab, the little, what is it called? Vertex. So these are all like little vertexes or whatever, I think. So I'm going to select that one and select this one. So select both of those and then hit X and delete vertices. So now we have something like this. So this is essentially going to be the backdrop. So I'll zoom in a little bit. So now this line here, so we have to go to the line. So this is like the face. So this is like a face right here. These are lines going across, and the edges are like the little vertexes. So now we're in the line one. So we can highlight this line, and I don't remember how to do it. I think it's like, I don't remember the shortcut, but you have to go to bevel. So we'll hit bevel here, and you get this little yellow thing. So we can bevel it like this, which I think is good. And then we'll get these bevel options. So now I just want to change the segments to like maybe like 5 or 6 of them. So we'll do 6 segments, and I think that's good. So yeah, so I think that looks good. So now I'm going to hit tab and just go back to like modeling or object mode. And I'm just going to click on it and hit shade smooth. So now it's smooth. And I'm going to go to this little option here, which just gives me more options on my gizmo. And I can stretch it with this red. And I can stretch it back as well, like this. And maybe I'll stretch it a little bit higher with this. But now I need to bring it back up, so I'm going to hit 1 again, and then I'm just going to bring this back up to the red line. Okay, so that's our backdrop. Looking good. So I'll zoom in a bit. Okay, so that's our backdrop. So now let's bring in our little character. So I'm just going to go up here to File and Import GLTF. So then I'll just go to Downloads, where I think it went. Was it A1? Is that what was that what it's called? That's a GLB. It must be. It must be A11. Let's see. Oh yeah, A11. So you notice that it's right on this red line, so that's why I make that little floor. And that's why I bring it to that red line. So that made it really, really easy to, you know, to bring into Blender. So now it's perfect. It's in the front. The backdrop may be a little bit smaller. Might have to make that bigger. Actually, let's do that real quick. We'll just go to the scale and make this a bit bigger. Maybe stretch it out. So something like that. And now we'll just bring it back up to the horizon line. Once again. Okay, good. So as you can see, the shape is a little weird looking. So I'm going to click on each one of these shapes and do shade smooth. So I'm just clicking on it and then like using 2 fingers to click because I have a trackpad, and then just hitting shade smooth. And the body is all one piece, so now it's much smoother. And I might take the eyes and then hit let's see, Shift and the mouth, and then I think maybe Shift J. Nope, Control J. Yeah, Control J. So now all these pieces are connected. So because I'm going to color the mouth and the eyes the same color, I think. I don't know. So you can decide to do that if you want to. I might not. Now I want to undo it. Anyway, so here's our shapes here. I want to put them in a new little collection. So I'm just going to take them all and put them, highlight them all and just drag them into this little collection. And let's just name this one Bulbo. It's his new name. So now they're all in this little section, and it should be colored too, but we can't see it now. You can hit Z and you can do rendered, but this is a little big. So I usually do solid, and then I go up here to animation. And even though we're not animating, I just like the setup. See how I have like a window here, and then I have a window here. You can like move these things around. It's a little confusing, but I don't know. I just like the way it looks in animation. So if I hit 0, so this is the camera view. This is the camera right here in this weird random spot. So I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to hit G so I can move it, and then I'm going to hit X so it moves along this X axis. So I kind of want it in the middle. And where are my tools? Where am I? There are my tools. So now I'm just going to rotate it. And you can see now, like this is my camera view in this window. So it's perfect. I can see like what I'm doing. Also, where are my options here? So the location, the rotation, I want to make this like straight. So since I want to make this straight, I think I'm just going to do 0. Hopefully that's straight. Location, I want it to be right on the X. So I think this has to be 0, maybe. Okay. So let's bring it down some. Whoop. Let's click on it. Let's bring it down a little bit. And I'm going to use this red to kind of rotate it. And maybe down a little bit more. And then rotate. Okay, so it's nice and big. You can bring it forward a little bit. And then down. Why is it being so weird? There we go. So bring it down just so it's sort of like in the middle of the view. So this camera, if you go over here to this little camera thing, you see we're in Eevee. Cycles is going to look better. Oh, I'm going to go over here to this window and hit Z and then hit rendered. So now I can see a rendered version. And right now we're just using Eevee. We'll switch to Cycles. Cycles is the pretty one. But for now, Eevee is fine, since we're just kind of lining it up with the camera. So where are my camera settings? I thought they were here. Oh, so let's go down here to camera. So once we're tapped on the camera, then we can go down here and see the camera settings. You can see it's in perspective. You can also put it in orthographic, but I think perspective is better right now. And I kind of wanted a little bit more face, like a little bit more front on. So I'm going to bring it lower and then tilt it back a little bit more. And maybe a little bit more forward. Why are you not? Is it too close to that? Yeah, it was. Okay. All right, nice. So let's say we wanted to, let's take this and let's see how I think I can do Shift D. Can I do Shift D? Okay, what if I copy and then paste? Can I do Command V? Okay, yeah, so I pasted it. But I want to bring it out of this thing. I want it to just have its own little place. Okay, so now let's take this one. Let's take all of these and just move it over. And then maybe back a little bit. And I think I can hit Shift D for duplicate. Oop. So it worked, but I think Shift D and then I'll hit X so I can just move it over cleanly. Like that. I don't want it to be like absolutely the same, so I'm just going to kind of move these around a little bit. Maybe even make one smaller. Well, that's okay. As long as they're not like perfectly straight, I'm happy with it. Oh, that's annoying. So when I did that, it like duplicates everything right underneath, so it just makes it the most difficult that it can be. So now I have to, hopefully I can drag all of these into collection 4 and just do Bulbo 3. Okay, so now we have all 3 of them. This will be Bulbo 2. Okay. So let's put them in order. We don't really need to, but it makes me feel better. Okay, so now they're together. So let's take, I think it's 2. Let's take 2. I'll right click and select objects. And I just want to kind of turn it a little bit, just so they're not, something like that. Okay. Cool. So let's go up to this little camera and change to cycles. You can see cycles is a lot better. It looks a lot nicer and cleaner and just prettier. So this is our default lighting here, which is just this light up here. So anytime you click on anything, here's your settings. So we'll go down to this little light bulb. And it looks okay. It's not bad. But actually, I kind of like it. It's a point light all the way up here. I kind of like it. Let's take the body of this little rascal, and then we'll go down to these settings. So base color, I'm going to go to RGB. And then I want to go here. So we're basically just taking, this is the color it is now. So I'm going to take this little eyedropper and just get the color of this yellow and just put it all the way up. So it's the color of, oops, oh, it always does that. I wish it would just like let you, like now how do I get off of that? Like I'm happy with that color, leave me alone. Oh, it's a little off. It's a little off. Okay, that looks better. So that'll be my color. I'm going to change the name of it to Bulbo Yellow. And maybe we want to change these colors. So I'm going to go to RGB. Oh, is this both of them? Oh, Interesting. But maybe I want to do, let's bring it all the way up. I kind of like that color. So let's name this Bulbo Seafoam. Okay, I want to go to this one now, and I want to do the minus, so then I can add its own color. I kind of like the white, actually. The white kind of looks nice. But maybe we'll do like a, yeah, I like that. Maybe we'll do that. Bulbo Easter egg pink. Easter egg pink. So also now we can change the roughness. So let's go to this one and change the roughness. And also we can change the subsurface color. Let's make this subsurface like a darker version of the blue. Or maybe we can make it a reddish color. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I meant to change the subsurface color here. Let's change it to an orange. Oh, I keep accidentally pressing. It's annoying. So I'm going to just put the subsurface up a little bit. I want to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to put the roughness up. And then I want to change the subsurface color to like an orangish. And I want to raise this up a little bit. Okay, the roughness is already up, so all I have to do is change the subsurface color to here. And then I'll go and raise this up. So now they all have some subsurface. But I can see already that like some of the subsurface is blue here. So so if I'm on this one, I think I can just turn all these down. Let's see, and I think that helps sometimes. Go here and then just turn all of these down. Okay, so now this little top piece, so I'm going to subtract this and add its own color. And I don't know what color I actually want. We'll start with this. So we'll start with this color. I kind of like it. It kind of looks nice, soft. And let's see what it looks like if I add a little glow to it. I don't know if I'm gonna add a little glow, because I think it'll take away from the shape of it. Let's see if I like it shiny. If I take all the roughness out and then it's nice and shiny, I think I like it shiny. So for the base color for this one, maybe we'll make it we'll make that one yellow. This one, let's take all the roughness out. And this one, let's take all the roughness out. But let's change this one, this color. So let's subtract, add, take the roughness out again because I did that. And then let's change the base color to, oh yeah, maybe like a light green. It's kind of nice. Okay, that looks good. So maybe I will change the color of these little thingies. I think I can just change the emission, maybe. Just change the emission color. Let's go ahead and minus this and then add, let's change the base color. I want to change the base color to this. Maybe make it a little bit darker. And now let's change the emission color. So I'm going to grab this color from the emission. I'll turn it up. Emission strength. Which means I have to make this darker now to kind of get it to match the color that I want. Which is something like that. Make it a little bit brighter. I'll take the roughness down on those. I want to save this in case it crashes. So I will save as Bobos. Save the file, so then you're good to go. These I want to base color RGB. We'll just change this to a yellow color. We'll take the roughness out. We'll change the emission to a yellow color. And then we'll change the emission strength. I gotta figure out how to make it darker though. I guess that's pretty good. Let's make it a little more orange. And this guy's lights are pink. I wonder if they're connected to this. That might be why. If so, let's go ahead and subtract those. Add a new. So we'll do base color. We'll make it a bluish color. We'll take the roughness out. And then we'll go down here and we'll change this to similar color, but darker. And then we'll raise the emission strength. Something like that. Okay, so now there's some light coming from these things, even though it's kind of a bright scene, so you can't see it that much. I don't know if I want to change the color of these, but I do want to take the roughness out of them. That's for sure. I just want them to be shiny. Whoop. I think. Let's see what they look like if they're rougher. Nah, I like them glossy. And let's play around with some color. If I were to do RGB and then change this to a reddish color. No, it looks weird. Looks weird. We're just gonna go back to black. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I'm gonna save. Oh, it looks like, oh, is this shiny? Oh yeah, it's shiny. The floor might look nice if it's glossy, so I clicked on the floor, and let's take the roughness out of it. And let's bring up the metalness so there's a little more shine. And I think I am seeing a light. If it's this light, sometimes you can take out the multiple importance and you won't see the light over here. See, multiple importance. So we take that out and then we don't see the light, which is good, which is nice. Yeah, it's still kind of weird that you can see it in the background. You can see the reflection. I wonder why that is. Are they too close to the background? They're very close. Let's take this and let's stretch it so the background is further away. That's better. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Get that background shadow out of there. Okay, so this looks good. So next, I think I want to go to the world, this little thing here. And I might make this brighter. So a little dark. So I think I want to make this brighter. And sometimes you can adjust the strength too. And just make it brighter. I like that. The only thing I want to do is play with these things again. I don't mind a little bit of a color difference. And I don't actually know what all of these things mean. So there's a little leeway. Even for this one, I might want to bring back some of the red. That's yellow, I think. One of them is like the more red color. Oh, let's just do it this way. I think the top one is the bluish color. I don't mind that. Okay, I think that looks good. So let's save. So now when you want to export from Blender, I usually go here, make sure that you're on cycles. Down here, 0.01 is the noise threshold. Max samples. This is a lot. I'm just going to change this to 700. So I think that's about it. The lighting looks really nice. I don't think I really need any more lighting. I could bring some lighting in the front. Actually, let's try to add some pops of light on these things. So let's tap on this light and we'll hit Control or Shift D. So that adds another one. Then I'm going to hit Z. So it moves on the Z axis. And then I'm just going to click to kind of make it its own thing. So then I'm going to move it so it's sort of over them. And I'm going to change this light. So I'm going to go to this little light bulb here and just change it to a area light. Now it's very bright. So I'm gonna move it down so it's pointing right overhead. It's super, super bright. So I need to change the size. Right now it's a rectangle. I'm gonna make it a sphere, a disc. And I'm gonna make the size bigger. And you can see here, you can see how big that is. It's quite big. I'm going to move it to the front of them. If I could get to this arrow. I'm going to turn the power down to like 300. Okay, maybe like 150. All right, so the size. So this isn't pretty bad, but I still don't see the, I want to be able to see that that pop on the black area, on the black part. So I just need to figure out where it has to be. Let's zoom in to the front one. Okay, why can't I see it? Let's bring it down, bring it up. I'm just moving it around until I can really see. Oh, I kind of see it. I can see it on the mouth a little bit. I'm trying to just get the arrow. Okay, we're getting closer. I know this is kind of annoying, but we're getting closer. I'm gonna move it closer to this front eye. Maybe it's just too far back. Maybe I need to move it down. Oh, let me, multiple importance. So it was off. That's right. I duplicated it and it turned it off. That makes way more sense. I'm actually going to hit undo a lot. Okay, I'll hit redo. And I'm just going to do multiple importance. Okay, so now I can see it. That's kind of what I wanted to see. So I'll hit 0 again. That looks beautiful. Power is at 150, so it's not that bright, but we're still getting all this beautifulness up here. I'm trying to just zoom out the camera view, but it always keeps switching to perspective view, which is super annoying, but I don't know how to make it not do that. So this is exactly what I wanted. It's a bit annoying that it's showing like this on the back. There might be a way to fix this. Maybe they'll do Shift Add, and maybe I can add a plane and flip it upwards and move it back. So maybe I can first make it bigger. So I'm going to stretch it out with this. And then I'm going to stretch it out this way. Like so. Maybe I'll move it back a little bit. Okay, so I just wanted to cover the background. So now I want to take this and change this to, I'll add a material. It's white, that's fine. Roughness, that's fine. But I don't want this break here, this line. So what I think I want to do is mess with the depth of field. So we have to go to the camera. And then we have to, so we're in the camera options. So we go to depth of field. I'm going to click depth of field. And then I'm going to bring the f-stop all the way down to 0.1. So I'm going to zoom this back in really close. And then I'm going to go to this distance, and I'm going to bring this down until the front one is clear. Whoop, we just passed it. Let's go to Eevee. So I'm going to go up to this. So instead of cycles, I'm going to use Eevee in the camera. That just makes it easier. And then I'm going to go back to the camera and then back to the depth of field options. So that'll make it a little bit easier, because using cycles, my computer isn't fast enough for me to do it accurately. Okay, so now this eye is in focus, but you see the depth is really shallow, super shallow, which looks nice, but it's a little too shallow. So now I'm going to go to my f-stop and just move it up to 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. So you can kind of make it as blurry as you want. Depends on how blurry you want the back ones to be. So now when I hit 0, see in the back, this line is now smooth, which is what we want. So now I'm going to go back here, change this back to cycles. See, now the background, it looks a lot better. This is a lot softer, which is nice. I wonder if I can make this any more white. Base color. Oh yeah, so let's bring it up to white. So that's a little bit better. And that's nice. It's got some nice shadows here. They look legit. Looks beautiful. So I'm going to save. And now I'm going to export. So we just go back here. Let's go to this little printer thing. Right now it's 1920 by 1080. I usually set mine to, what do I do? UHD TV 4K. Is that the one that I usually do? Click on it. Yeah, this is what I usually do. So I do that resolution. I go back to the little camera thing. This is at 700. That's important. I think everything else is normal. I don't think you really have to mess with any of this other stuff. This is essentially how it's going to look. I'm going to save it one more time, so if it crashes, I can just go right back to where it was. Everything looks good. And yeah, so now we can export. So we'll just do render image, and just so there is render settings here. They're down here. So these are the render settings. We usually keep it on 8, but I want to go crazy and do 16 PNG. So let's do render image, and it's going to take a little bit, but yeah. So it's a pretty big image, 700 samples, and it'll just continue to do this. As you can see, it's very, very slow here. Oh, it's very slow. Hopefully it'll get a little bit faster. But yeah, so it'll work itself out, and then we'll come back later and we'll check out the image. But for now, I heard my 3D print finished up, so I'm gonna go take out my 3D print. Hopefully I didn't run out of resin. There's a good chance that I might have, so we'll see. All right, I'll see you in the next video where I will show you some of, I'll probably do another tutorial or something. I might show you what I'm printing. That also might be in a short, I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll see you guys in the next one.